Good morning, everyone. For today, I thought we would make something, or at least bake something. We will be baking a pie. My inspiration today will be to make a lemon meringue. So something that uses indeed some lemons, eggs. And for our recipe, what we will be needing will indeed be, of course, about 3 or 4 of these lemons, 3 or 4 eggs, depending upon the size, flour, butter to make our dough, of course, as we are baking something sweet, some sugar, some cornstarch, and normally all the recipes for the lemon custard I found use water, but I thought I would use a little bit also butter and some yogurt to provide a little bit more creaminess and B, some tang. Now without further ado, let's get cooking. Our next step will be indeed to make our lemon custard. So for this we have the juice of about 3 lemons in our pot, and indeed the zest of about 2 of them. We will add to that, there we go, the we'll add to that some cornstarch that has been dissolved in some water, and about 100 grams of sugar. We will slowly let this get to know each other. Here we have our next ingredient, about 60 grams or 50 grams, sorry, worth of butter, and we can start indeed stirring this around. Now the butter will start to dissolve, and normally it won't combine too well with the lemon at first, but that's what we have the eggs for, which we will indeed, as a next port of call, start tempering. So as I said, the only thing that I do still want to add is 2 tablespoons of, in this case, Greek yogurt, just to provide, there we go, and just a little more, provide some more tang. We will let all these flavors get to know each other, and as soon as our liquid starts to warm up, we can actually start preparing or tempering our eggs. Our mixture is starting to warm up, so it's time to temper our eggs. Now we've done this before, nothing too difficult. We just add a few tablespoons of our liquid to our egg yolks, which we can then start to mix up. And as soon as they've been mixed, we can incorporate even some, there we go, a little bit more, and add these indeed straight into our mixture. Now again, we want this custard to basically come to near boiling stage, but not really boil through, otherwise we get scrambled eggs, and we do want a custard, but I'm already seeing the mixture thicken up. Just a few more minutes and we will have a rich, luscious custard. So we'll start by combining our dough. We've already measured out in our bowl about 220 grams of flour, to which we add some 80 grams of sugar, which I'm just going to simply mix together. Next thing we will be adding will indeed be some butter. So we've cubed about 160 grams of butter, which we will be adding into small chunks. And our recipe also calls for about half a beaten egg. There we go, that's about half. Now I had some leftover, there we go, lemon rinds, which we will indeed be adding as well. just to impart some more lemony flavor into our dough. And basically what we will be doing is mixing everything together. Now, just as with making bread, I do still prefer to mix up my pie doughs by hand. And we want to basically, well, knead everything together until our dough will start to resemble the structure of very coarse wet sand. Our last part to our lemon meringue is indeed to make our meringue. So this is indeed egg white, which we will beat to peaks. We will start by adding about 100 grams of sugar to our egg whites and basically just start whisking until we get, well, what we will see later, indeed stiff peaks. Now, I do indeed advise stuff like egg whites, if you're really serious into cooking, stuff like egg whites, or indeed also for whipped cream, try to learn how to do this by hand. I know it is indeed easier to do it with an electric mixer, but nothing gives you the feel and look of the consistency of the product you're trying to make when you're whipping it by hand. Besides, it's yet another skill and a good way to lose indeed some calories before consuming something which is, well, a pretty rich kind of dessert. So here we have the inconsistency of our egg whites. As you can see, we have nice stiff peaks, and again, of course, the classical test. I can hold this bowl upside down and nothing can come out. Our dough is now in its mold. Now, I just wanted to show you a little tip, because these sand doughs do, as the butter starts to warm up again, do tend to break apart sometimes. If you want to work on them or just do some little corrections within the sheet pan, you can still do that using one of these. Just a simple clean beer bottle, of course. So, but you can still roll out the dough within the pan. Now, I will let this again firm up in the freezer for about 10 minutes, after which, there we go, we should be good to go to bake our pie. We are now ready to provide our lemon custard, which is indeed firmed up nicely. So just spread out your custard. This will go into a 200-degree oven for about, I think, 20 to 25 minutes. Our custard will as such firm up somewhat, and of course our pie crust will bake in the same time. Our pie just came out of the oven after its first bake. It looks lovely enough to eat already. The sides dropped a little bit, but well, it will not be a perfect pie, but still good enough to eat. So as I said, we will let this now cool down completely for at least half an hour. We are now in the final stages of making our pie. So we are just spreading out our egg white, as you can see. And we do indeed want to form some of these lovely little ridges, so we don't want this to go all the way even, but indeed make some of these lovely little designs, ridges in there. As you will see, once that we torch or heat this up, this will make for some lovely designs and some lovely brown crusty bits that go on the top. Now, we could finish this with a burner. I will finish this under the broiler. It's been a long day already. For about 5 to 8 minutes, and we should get a lovely browned egg white on top. So here we have our end result. I just left my eyes off it for a few seconds, and we are just at the border of between being just too much and just enough. So we have a little bit of black bit, but it's not yet burnt. But we have some lovely caramel. We have some lovely color on there. This is just stunning to see and very good to eat.